my intention for the chapter was to highlight how facilitation doesn't have to be this rigid process where you're just interviewing participants or using a very defined or structured set of methods to elicit responses that are often like you already know the answer to. With participants, like it can be a very beautiful and like kind of relational process where you connect with your participants through your own identity and form these meaningful relationships that actually build community and allow for more to happen beyond like data collection.
That facilitation can, and in my opinion, should be guided by principles rather than rules and protocols. So thinking through guiding facilitation with values and principles of ethics, respect, reflexivity, creativity, collaboration, rather than thinking through it has to follow these certain steps.
Our chapter really, in terms of trying to think about facilitation, is looking at how a marginalized group that is also overrepresented in research, which are sex workers and sex work communities, how we can engage with those communities in a way that doesn't put more burden on sex workers themselves to do the teaching and to give information to academia, and not just be a sort of extractive relationship of academics coming in and taking resources from sex work communities without thinking through how to give back.
Communities. For us, when we think about facilitation, certainly in relation to incentives into this chapter specifically, we see how the communities that we work with are often over-researched. And we really want to highlight the role, and we're drawing on the work of other scholars who have done this, the role that incentives or sort of small payments in contribution, in a recognition of the contribution of the work that research participants are doing, can really play in facilitating the inclusion of people with lived experience in research.
And I would say the main takeaway from our chapter is that institutional processes are rarely designed to facilitate equitable inclusion of people with lived experience of structural marginalization in research.
What we've learned from our project in Selling Sex, when we were working closely with our research participants, which really became team members in this facilitation process, was just how powerful the facilitation can be.
I also want to add that I think facilitation is an embodied practice. And what I mean by that is so much of our theorizing and the beauty of our intentions and how we imagine a project will go is channeled into like this embodied moment in and with a community.
I found that these moments that we kind of take up in the chapter, we use like four different screenings to kind of show the range of responses that we got or that were created. And I find that it was these small moments that held so many stories and there was a lot to explore there and unpack. And I wasn't expecting that when we were kind of going in to do these screenings.
I think I'm still learning what facilitation means. And I think this exhibition, I really came to understand the importance of language in describing what it is that we're doing. And this exhibition came about because of an experience I had as a PhD student in a similar kind of collaborative exhibition that I was invited to be a part of. But
when you're facilitating in other realms and space isn't being taken up by people in an equitable way, then it's also part of one's ethical duty to step in, right? So I felt lucky that this performance exemplified, that creation of space so perfectly, and it's an experience that I will really, really remember for my whole life. Yeah.